Hello, children. Welcome back to your class. The topic for today is The Selfish Giant. The Selfish Giant has been written by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is a very well known Irish poet, and he went to England and he became one of the most famous playwrights in London. He was born on 16th October 1854 and he died on 30th November 1900. There are lots of movies that have been made on his books. You will read a lot of chapters as you go in other classes also. You'll read The Happy Prince in class ninth. These are few of his works: The Canterville Ghost, The Happy Prince, The Picture of Dorian Gray. And this is the author for you. This is Oscar Wilde. And these are few of his pictures. Let's read the chapter now. The title, as it suggests, it is about a selfish giant. A giant who was selfish to keep something to himself and not share. Let's read the story. Every afternoon, when the children returned from school, they used to go and play in the giant's garden, and it was a large, lovely garden. So the children, when returning from school, would go to the garden and play there. And they used to be very happy. Don't you all enjoy playing in gardens? So this garden was very beautiful. It had 12 peach trees, and in springtime they had beautiful blossoms of pink and pearl. And in autumn they bore rich fruits, and the children would be very happy there. The birds would twitter and chirp, and it was a wonderful place for the children to be. But what happened? One fine day the giant came back. So far he had been on a visit to his friend Cornish ogre. Who's an ogre? Ogre is a huge giant who eats humans. So he had gone to visit him. He was there for 7 years. And in these 7 years, the children would play in the garden thinking that the garden was their own. But one day, the giant came back and he shouted in a very gruff voice. He said, "The children, you'll not come in my garden. This is mine." So all the children ran away. He built a huge wall around his garden and he put a big banner saying trespassers will be prosecuted. Anyone who trespasses on his private property will be killed. Now the children didn't have any place to play. They couldn't play in the garden anymore. They tried playing on the road, but the road was dusty and full of hard stones. And they were remembering the days when they were very happy in the garden. They used to wander around the high walls when their lessons were over, and they would talk about the beautiful garden inside. The giant was so selfish that he wanted to keep that garden for himself and not allow anyone to enjoy it. Then the spring came. It was time for spring. But do you think spring would come into such a place where there is no laughter of children, where there is no happiness? All over the country there were little blossoms and birds. Only in the garden of the selfish giant it was still winter. Even though the time was of spring, it was still winter in the selfish giant's garden. The birds did not care to sing. Who would they sing for? The birds would sing for the children, but the children were not there anymore. One day a small bud came out of the earth. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, but the bud was so sorry to not see the children there, it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. So nothing was blooming, there was no chirping, there was no happiness around. The people who were pleased, there were only, now everything has been personified here. You all understand what personification is? Spring has been personified. You already saw the picture. Yeah? Autumn has been personified. Trees have been personified. They are talking. Birds have been personified. So have snow and frost. They've also been personified. So they are happy. They are happy because they get to be there. So why snow and frost are happy? Because they are cold. So when you talk about emotions, a person who is cold is emotionally untouched. A person who is emotionally involved is known to be a warm person. So that reference has been given here, that snow and frost are happy because they are cold and they like places where there is no warmth. So they put the entire garden under their white cloaks. You all know what's a cloak? Cloak is a cloth that covers you from neck onwards, does not have sleeves, and covers the entire body. They now invited the north wind also to stay with them. Then they invited hail. Do you know what is hailstorm? So they invited hail also there. Hail was dressed in grey and the breath was like ice. And the north wind was also happy there. Now, the giant is thinking, why is it so cold? Why is there always winter? The spring is too delayed this time. Where's the spring? He would go out and he would see that there was no spring, no summer, no autumn, nothing. But the spring never came, nor the summer. The autumn never gave the golden fruit. It gave it to every garden, but not to the giant's garden. So, giant was also not happy with seeing only snow, frost, hail, and north wind around. One morning, the giant was lying awake in the bed when he heard some lovely music. He thought the king's musicians were passing by. But it was a linnet. Linnet is a small bird. So the linnet was singing. It had been a long time since the giant had listened to anything so sweet. So he stepped out. The hail had stopped dancing over his head, and the north wind ceased roaring, and a delicious perfume came to him through the open casement. He went out and he saw that there was spring at last. And what did he see? A most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in. The children had found their way into the garden. So they've come into the garden. They are sitting on the branches of each tree, and birds are flying about and twittering with delight. They are so happy that the little ones have come to play finally. Trees are so glad. See, personification everywhere. The trees are glad to have the children back again, and they have covered themselves with blossoms and are waving their arms gently above the children's heads. And the flowers are looking up through the green grass and laughing. So the nature is happy. The nature is always happy with little children, because little children are what? Innocent. They have nothing in their heart which is black. They have no malice in their heart. They've got love for everyone in their heart. So these little children, nature loves them. So you see, spring is back, happiness is back with the little children. But there's one corner the giant sees, that the tree is still filled with snow and the north wind is still blowing, and there's a little child who's standing near that tree and he cannot climb there. He realizes that the giant thinks and realizes that he's been very selfish not to allow the children there. So he tries to go help that little child, but all the other children, they see the giant and they run away. The giant goes to that little child slowly and picks him up in his arms and places that child in the tree. The child didn't see the giant coming because his eyes were full of tears. That child could not sit on the tree, so he was crying. But when he sat on the tree, he saw that the giant was very kind and nice. The boy stretched out his arms and flung them around the giant's neck and kissed him. The children saw that the giant was not wicked anymore, and the children came running back. The giant took a great hammer and broke down the wall and told the children that this garden belongs to you now. Now the children would come and play with the giant every day. And the giant would ask the children, where is that little companion, the young boy who I put into the tree? The children would say, we don't know. We don't know where he lives. He's gone. He was only with them for that very day. After that day, whenever school was over, the children would come and play in the giant's garden. The giant would sit and see them, sometimes play with them. But the giant missed that little boy who he put in the tree. He wanted to meet him. He longed for his little friend and often spoke of him. Years went by and the giant grew old and feeble. Feeble is weak. He could not play about anymore, so he sat in his huge armchair and watched the children at their games and admired his garden. One winter morning, as he was dressing, I don't hate the winter now, for it's merely the spring asleep and the flowers are resting. He realized that the spring will come. The winter is not permanent. But what does he see when he sees outside his window? He sees in the furthest corner of the garden as a tree was covered with blossoms. So the giant runs down. So initially, when he saw that little child, he saw that there was a tree that was covered with frost and the giant helped that child blossom that tree. But now what does the giant see? All the garden is covered with winter because it is winter season, but that there is one tree under which that little child he's been waiting for these many years is standing. And that little child is standing under the tree which is blossoming. Giant went running downstairs. He went to that child and he saw, what did he see? He saw that the little child had nail marks on his hands and on his legs, and the giant got furious. He said, "Who did this to you? Who hurt you? I will slay that man. I will kill that man. You just tell me who did this to you." Now, the little boy says that these are the wounds of love. Who does this little boy remind you of? Nails in hands and legs? Think about Christianity. Think about the person who started Christianity, the religion. Yes, here it's a reference to Jesus Christ. So Christ himself came and got kindness into the giant's heart, made the giant realize how selfish he was being. He was the little child. Jesus Christ came to his garden as a little child to make him realize that he should not be selfish, that he should be warm at heart and he should be welcoming at heart. Now, the giant has all of a sudden realized who he is dealing with. A strange awe fell on the giant and he knelt before the little child. He knelt before the little child because he realized who he was talking to. "Who art thou? Who are you?" he asks him. And the child smiled on the giant. "You let me play once in your garden. Today you shall come with me to my garden." So the little child says that you allowed me to play in your garden. Today I am here to take you to my garden. Obviously, the garden of God is paradise. So God says, now I'll take you to paradise. Next morning, in the afternoon when the children came, they saw that the giant was lying dead under the tree and he was covered with white blossoms. So he had departed to heaven or paradise with the little boy who was Jesus, and he had met his maker. I hope you all enjoyed the story very much. The moral that the story obviously gives us is that we must be kind, we must be warm-hearted, we must be loving, we must be open to all, we must not be selfish, and we must not restrict things from others just because they belong to us. Thank you, children. We will discuss the rest of the questions and doubts and new words in the group. Thank you all.